Hello, so this is a tutorial on the draw tools, the new ability to have a graphic draw another object. And right up front, I want to tell you that this is kind of I'm going to be updating this. I'm going to update this tutorial and we're going to be updating this feature. And so right now it kind of, it works, and I can show you what it does and how cool and how easy it is to use. But just bear in mind that we're going to be improving this and basically adding some additional features. For example, right now everything is set at this particular version where it only kind of draws from the upper left. And notice that we kind of have all these kind of pointing down to the left. So, but what we're about to add is the ability to set the registration point wherever you want. And the reason for that is we want you to be able to import your own images or use any image in here, not just these draw tools. So, for example, you might want to someday have a line drawn with an airplane and make it look like the trail is behind the airplane or something like that. And we are trying to get this to be as versatile to be able to do anything like that. So you don't have to just draw with a pencil or pen. You can ultimately draw with all kinds of things, right? And so that's what we're going towards. We are mostly there, and so let me show you how this all works. So I've got an object here, and I've got my pen on the stage. And what I need to do is I need to apply an animation to this. Now, what we're planning to do is, notice here if I got the stroke, and right now, this only works with solid colors, but you can have multiple colors. And notice here there's the attach drawing tool. And I'll go ahead and show you that we have put it in the dash area also, but it doesn't work as of this recording. So in version 1.1 it doesn't work, but it hopefully, in a couple of days we're going to get that working as well as some other kind of ability to set the registration point and other stuff, because we're really close. But let me just kind of show you here. So I want to set a solid color. I'll go ahead and leave it black, but I can have it any color. And I want to do the attach drawing tool. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And actually notice that I'm doing something wrong here. I need to have this selected because that's what I want to draw. So I want to have that selected, and I want to do the solid color again, and I want to set the attach drawing tool. So I'm going to click on that, and it tells me in this sentence here to click on whatever I want to use to draw it. So in this case, I'm going to use this. And so notice it did a little animation there to kind of let you know and signify that it did specify that it's going to use that to draw. So I can go ahead and close this and then apply the animation, and you can see that it's going to go ahead and use the pen to draw that line. So it's really slow right now. I can set the draw speed. Actually, the line delay doesn't really make a difference, I don't believe, in this case. So we're going to be graying that out. But let's say I want to make that much faster. I can go ahead and just apply that again, and you can see it's going to draw that a lot faster. So obviously, the slower it is, the kind of more realistic it is, particularly if it's more detailed and so forth. Now, I wanted to point out a couple of things that you can do that when you really want to start getting creative. I can actually move this over. And what I can start to do is I can actually apply an animation to the pen before it starts drawing. So now I'm going to select the pen. I'm going to come over here to the animations, and what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use the stroke or the dash, but instead I'm going to use some of these. So let's say I'm going to move it from off the stage. It's a pretty easy one. So I'm going to come from the bottom maybe, and I'm going to set the position where it's at now. That's kind of where it needs to go to. So now it's set, and I've set the duration is a second. Let's make it like 0.7 seconds, a little bit faster. And I'm actually going to go ahead and even do a bounce. And so let's apply that, and you can see that it kind of went onto the screen, kind of bounced into position, then it started drawing. But let's get this kind of right, because it needs to draw at the same time. And so, I wanted to let it move in. In fact, I might actually even do it just a little bit later like that. So then it goes in and draws. Now here's another cool thing. I can do the opposite. I can go ahead and add, and I hit the plus button there, and let's have it leave. And in fact, let's have it leave with a different animation. Let's do in this case. How about we do a zoom? So I'm gonna come down here and do a zoom, and I'm gonna turn that off. Turn it on. I meant to say. I'm going to make it also a fraction of a second, and go ahead and apply that animation so that when it's done, actually I did a zoom in by accident. I should have done a zoom out. So let's apply that again. And so you see there that it zoomed out when it was done, and I can kind of change that up and everything too. And the cool thing here is, like I said, let me do that and fade it out at the same time. Turn that on, and so now I've got zoom and fade out at the same time. If I roll over this, I don't think it had enough room to show. Well, I thought it would have fade out also, but you can, maybe I only did zoom and fade. No, I've got them both on. Normally it would show that it has both there. But anyways, that's, now you can do combinations. Now I wanted to kind of show you a few gotchas that you need to be aware of. One of them is if you want to size this. So let's say I do something like this. Let me show you what happens. If I do that, then it's going to not be totally accurate. It's going to, because what happens is the pen is going to remember, once you set that animation, it kind of remembers that path when you set it. So if you change the size, it's going to, remember the old path. In order to fix that, it's pretty easy. All you do is go back to the stroke animation and reapply it, and then it's going to do the right thing. See, it's all set up again. So basically, if you make some sort of change to transformation, rotation, size, or whatever, after you apply the draw object, attaching a drawing tool, you need to reapply it in order to get it to work correctly. Now, there's a couple other things that we may run into here. You can have multiple things, by the way, animating at once. You can have the different things drawing with different things, or I can have 2 or 3 pens drawing 2 or 3 objects at the same time, and stuff like that. And that's very much what we want you to be able to do. But we're still working on some things that definitely need to be kind of fixed and improved on this. But we really want to make this really, really versatile. We plan to kind of fill in the draw tools that are built in, so you'll see more and more here. And we want to let you import your own things and set the registration point wherever you want and stuff like that. And so all that's coming. So just bear in mind that if you run into something that's quirky, let us know. Go to the Facebook group and let us know, and we're going to be improving that, because this is a feature that I've wanted for a long time, and I wanted to have the versatility of these in and out animations, because since we are not using a hand, it can be more creative. And so I wanted to be able to have a good variety of things that we can do with this. And so check back with this tutorial. I know it's long, I apologize, but I wanted to give you the full scoop on it and let you know some of the things that are coming and some of the little quirks about it. And I hope you have a lot of fun with this feature. We are going to be adding to it and making it even cooler.